Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a bit of a different video to normal. I'm going to show you how to make your own scented tarts. I've been asked by quite a few people how I do it or what it is I'm doing when I'm in the kitchen making these, and it's so simple, anyone can make them themselves. And you'll realise when you buy village candles or Yankee candles, you get a certain amount of wax left at the bottom that will no longer burn down. Even if you light the wicks, they just go straight out because there isn't enough left. I have left a little bit more in this jar just as an example to show you with today, but it's so easy. I hope you enjoy the video and everyone can make their own scented tarts. Right, so to begin with, all you need is a small saucepan, a silicone cupcake mould so you can pop them out yourselves, and either a tea towel or some oven mitts. And then obviously the candle of your choice, and today I'll be using Village Candle's warm buttered bread. I use Yankee or Village Candle to do this with. So to begin with, we fill up the saucepan with a few inches of water. You can't do too much or else once you put the jar in it will overflow. I turn it up as high as it will go, and you've just literally got to wait for the water to boil. So I'll leave it a few minutes and come back to it as soon as the water's boiling. So now we have the boiling water finally. So what we'll do is we'll get our jar. Always make sure you take the lid off. And then you simply just plop it in the boiling water like so. It will rattle, that's fine. Just don't leave it unattended. Do make sure you keep an eye on it. And you've literally just got to keep it going in the boiling water until all the wax inside has melted, which we'll be able to obviously keep an eye on it and see. The time always differs depending on how much wax is left in there. You might get a little bit of water spill out over the side, but that's not a problem. And sometimes I have found it where the wax has taken a little bit longer to melt up, so you can top the water back up again and carry on burning it. Obviously just be careful putting the cold water straight onto the hot because it might crack the glass. But for now, as soon as the wax is melted, I'll come back to you and we'll carry on. So now we have the warm buttered bread coming to the end of its pull. The wax is nearly all completely liquefied. So just before I do show you what I do next, I will just give you an example of what happens. I would tip the liquid into the little cupcake moulds, and as you can see I have left a couple in there from last night that I've already made. This is Girl Scout cookies thin mints, and as you can see once you've left them they pop out very easily. I do normally do them quite thick because obviously you're not getting as strong a smell as you would a tart or a new jar, so I do them quite thick, and I normally use the whole tart when I do burn them. But you can see they pop out very easily. There's no mess involved. And this is also a driftwood one from the new Coastal Living range. See, it pops out just as well. And then you've got a completely clean silicone mould ready for the next lot. Sometimes you do get, I don't know if you can see it, some soot on the bottom of the tart. But then as you can see, one of the Christmas candles I've done, there is no soot at all. It just completely depends how the candle burnt or how you used it. It depends what the pull was like, but again it still burns very evenly. I've tried the Christmas one and I've tried the couple of driftwood ones, and they do smell quite strong considering a lot of people do just throw that last bit of wax away that you get in the jar. So let me just move the camera back so you can see me tipping into the moulds. So you turn the boiling water off, and very carefully, because this is boiling hot, you grab the jar, and as simple as that, you just tip them. Oh, I've had a little bit of spillage, but it doesn't matter. You just tip them into the moulds, as thick as you want. I do recommend doing them quite thick because, again, you're not getting the full smell out of them. And then you can just place the jar down and let it cool down. Let me just move the camera back up. So what you have to do is you literally just leave those silicone moulds, and they can take an hour or so to melt, to go solid, sorry. It's best to just leave them until they've gone completely solid. Don't stress about them, just leave them to themselves. You don't need to do anything else now apart from waiting for them to go hard, and then you can pop them out like I just showed you. And just for my last bit on this video, now I've used all of that wax. You can now see I'll still use my warm gloves because the jar is still hot. So now we have an empty village candle jar, and as you can see, it does clean up very nicely after you've done the boiling water around it, and the wicks are in there nice and loose, so you can just tip them out. If you do get any residue left in these and you want to use it for something else afterwards, or you like to keep empty jars, the best thing I find to do is to get a bit of warm soapy water, tip that in there, give it a little rinse round, and it should clean up lovely and get any soot off of it. And you've also then got the lid to keep with it if you do want to store things. This is an example of what I did with my driftwood one last night. So it's cleaned nice, but I do leave the labels on. I do like that effect. So I'm just using it as a pasta jar. If you do want to remove the labels, that is a very long process. You can scrape it with a knife, or you can use like a Stanley blade. Soaking in hot water does sometimes work as well, but they are very, very stubborn to get off. Sticker residue can be removed with baking powder and oil and being left for a few hours, but in my opinion it's worth just leaving the labels on because that is a lot of extra hassle, but it can be done if you do want it to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to do some more like this as well soon, as well as the reviews. And thank you for watching. If you do have any questions, or you have a different way of doing this that people might find easier, then please let me know. But thank you for watching.